Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for the collective. Know that energy is fluid, rules could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks and shadows and see how they play those karmic themes, help you understand why your person is doing what they're doing. Why are you attracting that person into your life? What is the whole spiritual significance? And we want to know that so we can change the dynamic of the situation. There's many different realities that play at one time. So your level of consciousness depends on, again, the experiences that you've lived a lot of times. Just your core beliefs come from them. And so when we need to change, a lot of times we're not even aware. What happens is again, this experience plays out that makes us aware. That's really what our relationships are about. Our relationships are about teaching us, right? So that means there has to be a lesson. And once we learn the lesson, we can change the entire dynamic of the connection. And what's even more important is we don't have to stay stuck in the karmic loops. Karmic loops are just living the same type of karmic experiences, just with different people, right? So staying stuck in a karmic theme of betrayal, of victimization, whatever the karmic theme that keeps you out of alignment with your true energy. And your true energy is just the energy of unconditional love, the energy of the universe, the energy of God, the energy that's inside of you, the energy of spirit. All right. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. All right. Let's see what the underlying energy is. And we always need to look at that because when we're dealing with a person that, creates facades and wears a mask and illusions, like we're not living their reality. We don't know why they do what they do. We just see whatever that they're doing doesn't really make sense and is kind of triggering us. So let's see what that word is. The word is clear karmic programs of intolerance. Well, I feel like you're over it. You know what? I feel like you've come to a place like where you're like, I care about you, but I don't care enough about you that I would like lose myself. I feel like you've come to a place like within that, which is good because then you're changing the entire dynamic of the connection. But let's see what else. Resentment. Yeah, like it's like you're like anything that keeps you stuck in a place of being mad. But the irony is, I feel like because you changed, this person is really angry. They're resentful. I feel like you changed, you flipped it up on them. And once you flipped it up on them, let's see what it did to this person. Well, they had, again, see, this person is wild at heart. They're wild at heart where they tend to desire their freedom. So, like, I feel like, it's not uncommon if you turn around and you lay a boundary with a person where you're like, hey, listen, I'm over you. Well, then this person's going to do what they normally do, which is run the other way. But then we pulled poker face. So it's like you're running away and you're acting like you don't care because I finally got to a place where I'm done. It's like I'm not just gonna like tolerate whatever you've been giving me, you know. But feel like is that this person tends to be someone that doesn't like commitment. Obviously, the fact that you took your power back, yeah, like this person's wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask, and understand they tend to wear a mask anyway. It's like you never really know who you're dealing with. I just feel like they're acting like they don't really care. I want to see what they're doing. So again, there is this past life connection, like I said, but like you're actually making them feel as if there's a lack. This person already has a lack, which is why they wear masks, right? They don't know who they are. People that don't know who they are, that want to be not stable, impulsive, you can see, well, they don't have good habits and they're coming from a place of lack. But lack, to me, on a bigger scale is not about money. It's about how the person feels about themselves. So that lack and makes this person feel, like I said, that they're angry because you not giving into them, you actually not, like saying, I've got to the point where I'm not happy in this relationship. It makes me stay resentful. I don't want to be connected. So, like I said, this person has two options: either apologize and be different or apologize. Like I said, either apologize and be different or run away. And what did they do? They ran away. But that's not really what they want. Because again, they wouldn't be angry. They want it easy, is what you know. It's again where this person like wants you to kind of be self-sacrificing, you know, tends to like, in order for this person to be strong, they put you in a place of disempowerment. They pay too much attention to the physical body, not the emotional connection. And it's all for them about manipulation. So the thing is, what I see is that this person has already created a lot of trust issues, and they're impatient with like this process. They want you to like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. When meanwhile, they're very fearful when it comes to relationships. This person, like, anytime you're going to express yourself and tell this person how you feel, they're going to have a problem with it, is what this just shows. And it's just because they're someone that's very insecure. So if you're coming from a place of, hey, listen, I'm confident, I know what I deserve, it triggers this person. So there's a lot of projection, and that's why this person isn't coming back. It's like it's your fault. It's like it's not your fault that you like, it's like you let go. And so understand, it's making this person, like you said, be like, I'm losing control. And being that I'm losing control, I'm pissed off because emotionally at one time, I believed that I had you. And maybe you did at one time. But what you're showing this person now is you don't have me now. And so on a deeper level, they're feeling controlled by people around them and they don't like it. It's pushing them to find their power again. So that's for some of you. I feel like it's not all the time a karmic, but it could be a karmic. It could also be family. It could also be their work. It could be anyone. Family, a lot of times, don't listen to other people. Trust yourself to know the truth. It's not like this person isn't strong. It's like they're saying that they're being controlled by other people in their environment, but on the same token, they listen to other people. So I think that this person cares a lot about that. I want to know everything about you, but I hold myself back. I'm afraid of asking. I'm afraid I'll get in too deep. Our love will manifest through the union of heart and mind. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. I don't think that this person thinks that. However, I do think that this is a spiritual connection where this person is like, I can feel when you're around me. I have that unconditional love. And if you're still thinking about me, then somehow we'll come back together. If you want it the way that I want it. I don't think that this person talks like this. I think that they fight about surrendering to it. I think that there's someone that has a hard time of surrendering to it. They're afraid to be vulnerable. Remember, they're in a codependent, whatever they're in, they're listening to other people, they're being controlled. They don't have control over their life. Like this relationship is making them have to like change, but tells me that they care too much about what other people think and that they wish they could say what they really feel. Someday they will, but right now they're afraid to be themselves. Probably because they don't like their life, first of all. And second of all, it's like they're in a situation where they're afraid to lay down boundaries. They're being controlled. Like I said, it's up to them to get out of that situation. And if they're not happy, they care about you even when they act like they don't. They're hiding their true feelings. I told you that. It's like that's how this reading started, that this person is acting like they don't care. It's like, because it's like, I don't know what to do, because you're making them kind of grow up. You're like, I'm over you. It's like, I'm over this. Whatever this is, I'm over it. And this person knows it. So they're like, well, I'm over it then too, but they're not really over it. So it's going to be a lot of half-assed behavior. And that's because the person has an ego, they're wounded, nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter, because nevertheless, it's like this person feels you pulling away, and it is sure triggering the crap out of them, because it's like you can feel that energetic connection. What did it say? Hey, our heart, if we like, will have union again through the heart and mind. If we grow these areas, if you're disconnecting, you're pulling away, then you're taking your energy, there will not be that. And that person knows that. And they're also like stuck and stupid, sitting there not really doing anything to fix the situation, because they're like, well, I'm afraid that I'm going to be rejected. Again, this person's inner child needs healing. And if it's triggering you, you need to heal too. Where it's like this person watches you on social media and the internet as their way of staying close to you. Again, it's like they want to, but they fight themselves. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out this connection. They're never going to be able to figure out this connection, because you can't figure out love. I've never experienced anything like it before. And that's because they can't, they've tried to walk away. They're like, I don't really want to deal with this. It's hard to change. It's easier just to not to, especially if they're manipulated in their environment, it's easier. But the problem is, it's like they have this connection, and staying connected to people that they don't really want to be with, well, it's gotten very uncomfortable. And like I said, you're not sitting around. It's like almost like they know time's up, is what I'm feeling by this reading, that they're like, time's up. You know, and it's bringing up like all the abandonment, because you're like, I'm not sticking around for this. So you're like, you already abandoned me, you already betrayed me, you already did whatever you did. I'm disconnecting, where this person didn't think that you would abandon them. And it's not like the universe isn't getting involved. There are messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully, trust what you hear. And they're not happy, because again, the karmic people and the behaviorisms due to this people are what's controlling them. So it's again saying the same exact thing, and that they need you to trust them and believe they're working towards union with them, and that they feel abandoned, and they often feel like other people have let them down. So it's almost like, even though it's toxic, these people like aren't going to abandon them. It's like they're going to use me, but they're not going to leave me, which it's again, this person like needs healing. And I feel like that's what inevitably the relationship's doing. My heart is opening, and it's guiding me back to you. But it's a process. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be with this person. You might be like, I'm not going to be with them. I don't want to be with them, you know. But Spirit says it doesn't matter whether you would be with them or not. What's important is that this person evolves back to their original energy of unconditional love. They're all blocked up, not thinking that they're worthy, again, afraid to be themselves, to have their own life. And so you're like, so what's the point? Why am I attracting this person? Well, again, that's where your healing comes into play. You're not just getting a person. You're getting the person because there's spiritual lessons that you need to learn, especially when they're triggering, and especially when all through this reading, what it says is like, this person wants to be with you, but they need to leave whatever they're in before they can actually be with you. And they're afraid because they're being manipulated. They that don't have a good self-esteem. They don't really know. They've never experienced a relationship like this before. What if it doesn't work? Relationships don't work with them. So it's again, there's all that which is what this person is going through, and it's what I see is a lot of fear because of betrayal. So again, it's just easier for them to act like they don't care, but they do, and that's all that it said through the reading, which is, and even when I show that I don't care, I do care. It's that person's not emotionally intelligent. You can't do anything with that. They're not coming back right now. Are they planning on coming back? Yes. But it's again, it's a process. Are you supposed to sit there and wait? No, you're supposed to go out and again, create your life. But first understand, be like, what were the triggers? Why was this a trigger? What do you need to learn? Because the relationship should have, you know, triggered you to, feel a certain way. And within that is the porthole to your spiritual healing. So we look, see where the fragmentation is, or where a gift is. Not all the time shadows are hiding wounds, most of the time, but not all the time. Discipline, card number 1. Card number 2, unworthy. Card number 3, dance. Card number 4, time and attention. Card number 5, joy. And card inner authority. So, like we look at the inner child wounds because, like I said, whether you choose to be with this person or not, it's really irrelevant. Spirit says it's all about the healing, and it's a collective. So some of you will, some of you won't. We can pull one today, right now, to see in this story, what would it be? So we'll pull one. We'll pull one card and we'll see. Again, I couldn't be faithful to you in my heart and soul. So it's again, I don't think that that's you. I think that that's that person. And it's because of the karmic and why they're in regret. And I still read our texts and think about you. I think that again, it's again not going to tell us. And that's because by the time this person comes back, you're not going to be the same person as who you are now, being that you're going to be working on yourself and healing. And part of that was to look at the inner child wounds. The inner child wounds is, why did you attract this person into your life? Where was the fragmentation? Well, what we saw is unworthy and time and attention. Those two things popped out to me. So if you grew up in an environment where, maybe your parents just had their own issues, it didn't mean that they didn't love you. It just meant there was no time and attention. There was no nurturing. There was no, or there could have been just abuse. See, it doesn't matter what the issue is. We tend to put our own description on it. The feeling, however, was I didn't get the time and attention. I wasn't nurtured. I felt unworthy. I had to do everything on my own. It's like I was very strong within myself. And so, like, there was a lack of joy. There was a lack of joy. It affected, again, my individuality, the way I moved within the world, how grounded you were, how disciplined you were within creating yourself. It doesn't mean that you didn't get by and do what you needed to do survival wise. What it means is that you weren't creating yourself. It's again, children are supposed to be like children and find themselves, the things that interest them, the things that they're called to, the things that they always like, because it's always those things that were a child say, I always liked that. It was that, it's again that when you feed that energy, what happens is it grows, obviously. And how long does it take to manifest something? Years. So when you see childhood prodigies, they started their dream in childhood and they manifested it. But if you were in a place of feeling unworthy, well, you got your love and attention from most likely being the fixer or the healer as the child to get that time and attention. Felt like, well, I'm not worthy. Love is conditional. It's unconscious. So it affected that second chakra, where it didn't mean that you don't have good intuition, but you didn't discipline yourself enough. But there are no mistakes, because Spirit says, well, again, you get the story of who you think you are, then there's a real story of who you truly are. So understand now, during this time of separation, because this person's not coming back tomorrow. It's like, and you shouldn't wait for them. It's still living your life and integrating, because you're becoming a better version of yourself in separation, which is, if this really is a twin flame connection, where, where this person comes back, they would come back a better version of themselves too. That's the whole point, that love is unconditional. A lot of the love is done in where self-love, but there's still this very strong spiritual connection, where ESP connection, where there's love, if that makes sense, where both parties are being taught, to understand and recognize what what unconditional love really is. Because a lot of times, if we grew up in an environment where there was alcoholism, or there was whatever was imbalance, we were taught love is conditional. Love, like you have to be a certain way in order to get love, when really this is not that. If anything, this love is going to trigger the shit out of you, and you say, love shouldn't be this way. Like, it shouldn't be this difficult. It's like, where it's like Spirit says, you don't have a choice. It's not up to you. It just is. It's like, it's not bad, it's not yes, it just is. So Spirit says, take time out, create an inner sanctuary for yourself, connecting to the higher self. That higher self is the God part of self. When you're in a relationship, or again, not in a relationship, every day take time, but it'll help you for when you are in a relationship. So it's, again, we don't create strength by creating a strong environment. We become strong. That's how we can go with the flow of life. It's, again, by making sure that we become and are connected to the passions of life. That's the second chakra. Remember that. Second chakra is your individuality, who you perceive you are. It's your passion for life. It's your relationship center. If that center is imbalanced, well, that's when you get trauma bonded relationships, toxic relationships. It's a bad relationships. You don't get good relationships. And that's the challenge, because this person, when you met them, was an asshole. They were like a trauma bond, but Spirit says every lifetime, the person past life has the opportunity to step it up, in every lifetime. You're incarnated 10,000 years. Well, again, one of these lifetimes, they're eventually going to say, you know what, I'm fucking tired. Let me actually try it this way. I don't want to. I actually want to do the work. And that's really what it's about, that both parties do the work. And for you, it's not really doing the spiritual work, because you did the spiritual work. But Spirit says, but I need you to embody the new consciousness, because you're in physical form. And God says, you're in physical form to learn. So you have to, again, embody it. And that's by taking a bold action. Take big steps to push you out of your comfort zone. Again, so that you'll grow, so that you change, so that you meet different people and situations, because you don't really, you might have lived very safe. And that would happen, especially if you didn't have the time and the attention and the nurturing, and that you didn't pour into yourself. That Spirit's like, there's a whole world out there. Make this person work for you when they come back. And that'll happen if you're, again, go out into the world and have a love affair with yourself. It's, again, that you're on the right path. Even if it's not the most traveled, it's because you're creating your own way. And understand is that the universe always makes a way where there is no way just for you, as long as you are, again, loving yourself, pouring into yourself, finding yourself. Remember, that it's as long as you're given to yourself. And then this way you're teaching this person, this is how to treat me. You're every single person that comes into your life, you're saying, this is how you need to treat me, how I'm treating myself. I'm not going to treat you nice. I'm not going to treat you how I want to be treated. I'm treating me the way I want to be treated. If you want to be in my life, you have to earn it to be in my life. And that's how you treat me. Because I already know that I'm going to be nice to you. Why would I not be nice? But I have to protect myself. And, I'm not just going to give all my time. And Spirit says that, understand, you have to envision brighter horizons. Like see your own genius. That's really what it's about. That you're not seeing brighter horizons because maybe you're still seeing yourself as, well, neglected or unworthy or not good enough. And then this person made you feel that way because they don't know whether they're coming or going or just met themselves on the way fucking back. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's like frustrating. And the Spirit says, well, you're not supposed to be sitting there waiting. You're like, but I thought that this was a connection. The Spirit says it is. But it's, again, we don't control love. You were taught that, oh, it needs to look this way. It should be this way. It's irritating. How come my situation looks like that? That makes me feel like there's something wrong. And Spirit says, all that is where you need healing. Put the energy into seeing your own genius. Then what this person does, you don't care. Is what Spirit says. You don't care. It's like you're a strong person. Go out and into the world and experience. And it's, again, that person's going to mirror your energy. It's like they treated you the way that you treated yourself, which is where you were giving more attention to them, and they're still finding themselves. Spirit says, you do you. It's like, believe me, this person will come back. It's like they have nowhere else to go. You may not want them back. And that's what Spirit says, by you going out into the world and really having a love affair with yourself and becoming yourself, they're really going to have to work for it because, hey, you're going to have options. And you're not doing that to be mean. You're doing that because, hey, that's how you get peace of mind. You don't have to sleep around with 80 different people. You need to have peace of mind, though, that I'm going to choose the right decision. And that's how I feel. That's my discernment. That's because I'm balanced. That's because I see what my choices are. And this person is really my twin flame. I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna know it. So I'm not gonna make that decision now. That's why God was like, I'm not gonna answer that question for you again now. And the reason why is because who knows? It's, again, but either way, this person had to heal. Either way, you were pushed to heal. So again, even if they missed it again in this lifetime, which would be a pity. So in Spirit says, it's all about you manifesting the light, see the beauty in yourself, grow and develop your inner self in harmony with the light and beauty. Free yourself from negativity, your heart transforms, your intellect shines, and your inner light grows. And that's pretty much what Spirit was saying this whole time, that this is what this relationship's about. Is about you, like, knowing your own worth, knowing who you are, knowing that you're deserving, and that, at this time. So that's why you attracted this person, because you still had fragmentation. It's just not in the spiritual, just in grounding, where Spirit's like, yeah, you don't even know all your options. You don't know everything that who you are. You haven't seen the magic within yourself fully. So you'll settle for less unless you go out there. So you're doing healing. Your healing is just a lot more funner than that person's healing, because that person's healing sucks because they have to turn around and finally grow some kahunas and say, hey, I'm doing me. I don't care whether you don't like it. I don't care whether I walk alone. I'm doing what's best for me. And they're terrified, but you already learned that lesson. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated. Thank you for joining me today. All right, bye-bye.